What's up, guys? This is Chase with the Hanging With Azarian podcast, episode number 2. We made it this far. This episode, I brought on my boy DJ. He's a fellow independent filmmaker out here in Orlando, and we kind of just talked about making independent films, what motivates us as filmmakers, and a bunch of other things in between about movies. So if that sounds like it's interesting to you, I hope you stick around and enjoy the podcast. Thanks. Appreciate you. What's your review of the blueberry coffee, man? Let me know.
We're about to find out.
We're about to find out. I had it in the first episode, too. If you didn't watch that, you should. But what you thinking?
Okay, so off the bat, I'm not a fan of black coffee.
Okay.
This has nothing in it.
Dude,
No. But you're good though. I'm trying to cut back on like sugar and cream and all that.
Okay.
So I'm drinking a black. This is the best black coffee
that you've ever had.
I've ever had.
Holy shit! That's a good review.
Yeah, I don't like black coffee, but this is pretty good.
Well, I'm glad you like that black coffee because this is Hang With Azarian episode 2. That is the most smooth intro of all time for sure.
Yeah.
If you didn't watch episode 1, I guess you don't have to. I hope the audio is better this time. I think the audio already is better than this time. But I had my roommate Adam McCormick on that one that you can check out. We talked about skydiving, quarantine life, social media with the social dilemma. But I also mentioned that there's 3 main things on this podcast. That's going to be business, fitness, but also filmmaking. So it only made sense I bring someone that I really enjoy talking to that is also big into movies. Everyone, this is DJ. DJ, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, especially after having that. I'm doing very good.
Awesome. Love to hear it.
I'm alive. I'm awake. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to talk. Let's go.
I love to see that. Yes, so I guess before we get too into it, I met DJ during quarantine. Surprised I didn't meet him before that, honestly. But Adam, who was on the previous podcast, introduced us at a little social gathering. A little social gathering. DJ was not the most sober state, but he was super awesome, super easy to talk to. He was like, bro, you're into film, like so am I. And then it kind of just spurred this, I guess, friendship that it feels like it's been longer than it actually is. But
which props to you for being willing to speak to me while
of course.
Like that and being like, yo, this dude's so chill. I want to talk to him more. So I appreciate that.
Anytime, man. Yeah. And I think we naturally get along, so I'm excited for this podcast. So this one is going to be more movie, filmmaking, like the actual how to make a movie process episode thing. But that being said, I think we kind of just talk about how we found our passion. Like, I think me and you share that in the sense that we know what we want to do with our lives. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people in quarantine were trying to figure that thing out anyway. Like, they're trying to get out of the job they're doing and find something they're really into. So I guess that'll be my first question to you is, what was the moment, if there was a specific moment, where you were like, damn, I want to make movies?
So it's a funny story. So before I even continue, I actually should ask you beforehand, is profanity allowed?
Yeah, you can curse. I don't fucking care.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, just I'm glad you asked though. You know,
yeah, you know.
Polite of you.
I don't know if you want, professional. It just seems like a laid back. So I just,
It's Hanging With Azarian, man. Anything fucking goes, bro.
Yes, sir. All right. So back to the story. So it's actually funny. So it actually occurred in my senior year of high school. Before anything, I wanted to become an astronomer. I read like at a college level in astronomy and astrophysics, but what held me back was the math. I'm shit at math.
Same here, man.
Don't give me any equations. I'll fail it. I'll fail anything you give at me. And so I'm sitting in my tech and I'm just filming random people. My tech is like really laid back. Teacher really didn't care. And I'm just recording people. And I was like, okay, let me put some music over this. And I stitched something together and I showed it to people and they're like, oh, that's like really, really good. That's cool. It was like really basic. I use Windows Live Movie Maker.
That's what I learned on as well. Yes, sir.
It was like the first day I used Windows Live Movie Maker. It's really crappy. But I realized that I liked taking footage and like stitching them together. And so that was like a little thought. And then the senior year talent show came around. And at the time I was really good. I knew I was fairly good at writing because I did a lot of honestly like poetry and expositional writing.
About you.
Yeah, okay. I did a lot of poetry writing and everything. Would shoot that to some ladies. Like, oh, that's cute.
Okay, yes, sir.
And so I was like, all right, let me put some of that into writing a script. And I realized that my method of writing is, if I know where a story is going to start and if I know where a story is going to end, I can fill in like the blanks. I know for a lot of people, it's like they take like big climatic moments and work their way outwards.
Right.
I take the outward moments and I work my way inwards.
Right.
And so I kind of did that. I had this concept of just like my tech, just a crazy class with crazy students. Wrote it. It was called The Name's Bill. Performed it at the talent show. Wrote it, directed it, and starred in it. And everyone loved it. And I knew from the moment when everyone, like, they literally stood up and gave a standing ovation that I was like, okay, I like making content. I like stitching it together. I like putting things in and making one like story, and I get that satisfaction out of watching other people watch it and enjoy it. And so I was like, I think I'm gonna go into filmmaking. And so that's basically where that passion came from, is just me, I guess, to put it in layman's terms, bullshitting around in tech.
Yes, sir.
And I was like, yeah, I want to do filmmaking. So that's how that started.
Hell yeah. So what made you, just the math part made you go away from like the astronomy stuff?
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Okay.
I could yell at you like facts all the live long day, like about like, you know, the speed of light, spatial relativity.
You said it like it was nothing to the speed of light. Like
I used to know the exact number. There's a number to it, and then it's rooted to the power, I think, of 10 or 20. Okay. I used to know it, but you know,
so you got like real nerdy into it.
Yeah, man. I was
okay.
like the geek, bro.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I knew everything. Oh man, don't even get me started.
Okay, so
I still love it to this day.
Exactly. It's like a little side hobby thing, you know. You can probably make an astronomy movie one day, you know, like you apply it. Interstellar. Yeah, you never know. But I always find that cool because you started off thinking you were going to do one thing and then still ended up in a creative atmosphere, because growing up, like, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I think most people don't. I thought at one point I wanted to do sports medicine. Like, that was the shit I wrote in my 8th grade yearbook. I remember was, I'm going to be a sports medicine doctor, which...
Really?
It seemed interesting to me. It seemed like, I was like, I like football. Let me be a football doctor.
Were you an athlete?
No. I mean, I played sports, but I was shitty at sports.
Okay.
Yeah. But then I was like, oh, FBI agent sounds cool. And then I asked my chemistry teacher, I remember in high school, I was like, hey, man, I really want to get into the FBI. I don't know why I was asking the chemistry teacher this, first of all, but something along the lines of, it just came up, and he was like, oh, well, if you want to be in the FBI, they're mostly taking accountants. Do you want to do accounting? I was like, nah, that sounds really fucking boring. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And I think around 8th grade was when I got really invested in movies. Like, we saw Inception recently in the theater because they had the 10-year anniversary. Ooh. Yes, sir. Inception's a banger. I think everyone knows that. But regardless, that was the follow-up to Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, which was 2008. When I saw The Dark Knight in 2008, that was the first time I saw a movie, and I was like, holy shit, like, this is what you could do with the medium. It was crazy. So then 2 years later, when you followed it up with Inception, the best movie I saw since The Dark Knight, and I find out, wait, the same guy made these movies, and I realized, like, I'd heard of people like Steven Spielberg, but I didn't really know what Steven Spielberg did. I knew he was involved with making movies, but that was the first time I went home, I researched how movies were made. I was like, oh shit. This is a job where you just make banging movies, and it was the coolest thing ever for me, and that kind of led me down this rabbit hole of learning about movies. And I didn't have a high school that offered any video classes when I was there, so I really didn't know anything about filmmaking until, I want to say, the actual process of making something was when I got my camera senior year of high school, which I saved up money from working at fucking McDonald's, just flipping burgers.
Oh, you busted your ass.
Yeah, flipping burgers, doing whatever, just so I could have a camera and play around with it. And my first short films, bro, I'm sure we can get into this in a second, were so ass. Like,
yeah,
I
mine's too.
I feel bad for high school Chase that made those short films, because most of the colleges I wanted to get into, I didn't even get accepted to. I got waitlisted, but I got accepted to Rutgers because they're like, oh, we like the storytelling. Like, we could tell you are thinking about storytelling, even though you definitely don't know how to shoot a movie. And I guess we could kind of go into that. Was your first short film?
Oh,
I mean, this is for anybody that wants to get into anything. Whatever you do, like my first podcast episode sucks for sure. This one, it'll be all right, but it'll be slightly better than the first podcast episode.
Okay, that's one way to look at it.
I mean, well, I'm always from the perspective of, you just have to do the first thing. Like that was like with losing weight. My first workout sucked. I didn't really know what I was doing, and you have to do a bad job, not a bad job, but you have to get the bad attempt out of the way, learn from whatever you did, and grow, make it better. Like this episode already looks better. The audio is going to be better. You know what I mean? Yeah. So in terms of that, I feel bad for my roommate Adam because that episode is audio-wise not the best.
He was the experiment.
But Adam will come back on again. Yeah. So I guess going into that, what was shooting your first like short film or skit with the talent show, and how do you feel about it now? I guess.
So my first script, my first like legit script was The Names Bill, the one that I wrote for the talent show, which came out to. Man, I just kept writing. Like I'm a very, when it comes to, first off, I guess it's first off to say that I do a lot of comedy. I don't try to stay away from drama, but if you were to give me an option, I'd choose comedy, and I like absurdist comedy. The comedies that you'll like watch and you'll be like, what the hell? Like that's like super exaggerated, things like that. And so that's what The Names Bill is. Premise is that there's a teacher. And there's around, I think, like 5 to 6 students. I actually haven't read it in a while. I need to go back and read it. Yeah. And the teacher, all these students have like a profile, like a character type to them. You have the jock, who's just like super stupid. You have this one chick who's just like very, very loud. But out of all of them, there's one character named Bill, and he's normal. He's a regular. He's like
Bill.
Yeah, he's Bill. He's Bill. And he's turning in the tests, and the teacher, or professor rather, because it's a college course, philosophy, is looking at the paper and says, whose name is this? It's like, it's my name, Bill. And it's like, how do you say that? And that's literally the script. The professor cannot get the student's name, the name's Bill. So I wrote that. That came out to like 60 pages. It was well received.
60 pages?
Yeah.
You said skit. I was thinking this is 5 to 10. 60 pages.
Also, and this was I did say it's a talent show, so we performed this. So it's
wait, this wasn't even a short film. This was
we performed
theatrical.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I was completely lost on that.
Yeah, no, my first script was for a theatrical performance, and I performed on stage as the professor, and I rehearsed with all the other people, and we got up on stage. I think it was also in that moment when I was like, where do I want my writing skills to be, in theater or in film? And it was after that where I was like, okay, I want it in film, because props to people who can perform live on stage with lines. If you fuck up, that's it. Like the whole thing is fucked. You can't, there's no like, okay, cut. Hey, can you redo that line? No, that's it. You fucked up the whole thing. And there were many times during that performance, I learned my lines just because I was like, I don't want to be the one.
Right.
I don't want to be that guy. So, but the dude who was playing Bill, he forgot a line at one point, but you kind of just have to kind of roll and know where you can jump in. So it went really well. But yeah, it was a theatrical performance. It was 60 pages. It was originally 60 pages, and then I showed it to my teacher, who was astounded that I wrote that much. And she was like, this is great. You have to cut it down. This is going to be an hour. So we cut it down to, I think, 40 pages. So it's around a 40-minute thing. Well received. Everyone loved it. A lot of laughs. The video is actually on my Facebook, somewhere on my timeline of 2016. My first skit was, I had this running joke all throughout high school, which I'm so glad I stopped because it was a bit obnoxious, but I would always recite the Geico quote.
The Geico quote?
Yeah, the Geico 50%. The Geico quote, 15 minutes to save it to 15% or more.
Okay.
I recited the whole shit.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I would always recite it. Like, it'd be the randomest thing. Like, we could be talking about, I don't know, cars. No, that's actually on topic. I don't know. We talking about something random. And I'd be like, yo, did you know? And you're like, did I know what? And I'll just do it. A whole bunch of people hated it. Point is I was like, hey, I want to do a commercial of basically people are representative of their companies, and so you have Geico, Allstate, Nationwide, State Farm, all of them, yeah. And so I was like, where can I film this? Because at the time I didn't really have a lot of equipment or the resources. And at the college that I went to, which was Valencia College, so this is right after my senior years. It's 2 semesters into my college. I found out that there was a green screen room. Mm-hmm. You're only allowed to use it for a project for a class called SLS, which is basically an introductory class to college life. And at the ending of the class,
you could only use the green screen for a class to prepare you for college.
No. So the class is a preparatory class. It's to prepare you for like the ethics of college and like what you're going to be doing 10 years from now, right?
Right. But that's the only class you could use the green screen for?
Yeah.
Why?
That's what I said.
What?
Yeah, you can only use it for that class, and at the ending of the semester, you're given a project where you have to film where you're gonna be 10 years from now.
Okay.
I did phenomenal in that project.
Sure
I used a green screen room, and then for like 3 semesters afterwards, people were coming to me to write their final story project. Mm-hmm. I haven't told this to anyone, so it's
all right.
It's exclusive.
Okay, yes, sir. To the 3 people that are going to listen to this.
Yeah.
Because it's episode 2.
And I would charge them. So I made mad guap.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Writing these scripts for them. Mm-hmm. And I was like, just film like this, and that. And then yeah, I made money those semesters. But anyways, so I kind of went in and lied. I was like, yeah, I'm making a final story project. And she was like, okay, yeah, do that. And then I went in, I'm grabbing people, the people I had casted for it, they don't even go to the college. So I'm like, just act like you're a student.
Yes,
so
sir.
We go into the green screen room and we're given an hour. So I'm like, we're on crunch time. Let's get this done. We're probably going to get in trouble, but like, fuck it. We film it. And that I think is on my Facebook. If not, then my Instagram. And that was pretty good. Mm-hmm. I guess I look back at it now, and it's cringy to me.
Yeah, of course.
But as you would know, like we're our worst critic.
Yeah, that's true.
So I still show it to people because they're like, oh, you remember that Geico commercial, and they'll laugh at it, and I'm like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, I'm the same way. It's like with every video I make, there's very few that I go back to and watch regularly and be like, I like that one. I don't know why. There's
yeah, can't.
The ones I usually watch are like the travel film ones I do, just because they're more like mementos and they got like memories. And
love them, by the way.
Oh, appreciate that.
I love them, bro. They're so good.
You don't gotta act like they're good because some of them are shitty, but
well, I haven't seen your older ones.
Okay, those are shitty.
You need to show me your older ones.
I will. Maybe after this we'll have a little screening.
Yeah,
you never know.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
But there's a lot of things like you just mentioned. I think to be successful in any sort of entrepreneurial, it doesn't have to be filmmaking. You have to simultaneously be your biggest fan, but also your worst critic. My first short film, you give it to any critic, they're gonna be like, "Yeah, that was fucking terrible, Chase. What were you thinking?"
You showed me one. What was the one that you sent me a link for? It was.
I have no fucking idea what I sent you a link for.
It was someone dying of cancer.
Oh yeah. That was State of Sin, probably my best short film, even though it is shitty. Yeah.
No, it's not, man.
That one's shitty. Yeah.
Don't listen to him.
All right, it's shitty. It will be a feature one day when it's actually good. That being said, I think, bro, my first short film. First of all, it was called Purgatory, and my plot twist at the end was he was in Purgatory. If you couldn't figure it out by the fucking title, yeah, that's how bad we were talking. All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was. Maybe it's a Purgatory. I like Purgatory, man. I think it's an interesting experimental field to talk about.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna make this the philosophical Purgatory podcast. We'd get way in the fucking hole of what's out there. But yeah, that was my first short film, so it was really shitty. My best friend Kit at the time was my main actor, and my dad played fucking God. And Dad, you're a great guy. Yeah, you weren't the best actor. I think you know that, and I want you to work on it. So I can.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, sir. But it was.
How did that go about happening? So you just went up to your pops and you're like, "Hey,
yeah,
you play God?"
I was like, it was. I forget, man. I was. I wish I had a good story of how I asked my dad to play God. But either way, you can't find the short film anywhere on YouTube. Oh. It's mine. I will show it to you, DJ, as my thank you for being here. But it was so fucking bad. And I made a lot of really bad videos. I made YouTube videos where I would just review movies, and they were shitty, but that was the first time in my life where I figured out how to edit. Like, if I didn't make shitty YouTube videos when I was 15, 16, I would not be where I am today because I wouldn't know the basic concept of editing. And I think maybe you could talk about this too, is I think a lot of people, prime example, right? I was in a fraternity in college, right? And everyone knew I was one of the people that I knew what I wanted to do. and I had a drive to go out and do those things in terms of filmmaking. And kids would come up to me at parties all the fucking time, just fucked up, and be like, yeah, dude, I hate my major. I hate what I'm doing. I don't want to do that for my life. This is what I really want to do. I had kids tell me they wanted to be an actor. I had kids telling me they wanted to open a restaurant. I had kids telling me they wanted to try and make music. And they'd all pretty much ask me, how do I go about doing that thing? And I think a lot of people are just afraid of embarrassment. Mm-hmm. And I think you don't need to be the most I don't give a fuck person, but to a degree you have to be like, I don't give a fuck about any sort of other opinion other than my own. Mm-hmm. And I guess going into you, because obviously putting shit like skits out there, like, it's very easy to just be like, oh, what the fuck, this guy's just making random skits. Like, people could take it cringy as hell, like you said, because you think it's cringy as hell now.
Yeah.
But how do you think you get into that mentality of, I don't give a fuck, I'm just putting shit out there?
Well, I don't know. Like, being in the field of like filmmaking, and I'm sure it applies for, you know, other occupations or other hobbies, things like that, but specifically filmmaking, it's a lot of trial and error. Mm-hmm. Like, you kind of have to just throw something at the wall and hope it sticks. Mm-hmm. You know, obviously during the process, you can kind of get a feel of whether if it's going to stick or not. But at some point, you kind of just go like, this is my creation. And, you know, putting all of that passion and work into a project in a field that you're very passionate about, you kind of just develop this mentality of like, you just don't give a shit. Mm-hmm. Because you've put so much effort into something, and you're, of course, obviously in the back of your head, you're like, I'm hoping people will like this and it's received well. But I think it's just something that's just kind of like developed. There's no particular mode or way or path of you just gaining that mentality. It's just having a perception of, okay, well, I've worked on this, and I've worked on it with other people, and they're looking, if you're in a field of directing, they're looking up to you to push out that content. Mm-hmm. Fuck it. Like, I'm doing it for me, my cast, and my crew, and then the people who like it, you know, it'll come with it. And it's funny that you bring that up, too. I also think that with a lot of filmmakers, you also have to develop, like, this drive. Mm-hmm. You know, not only to make good content and to push it out, but to be consistent with it. Mm-hmm. And I've had the same thing. Like, I'll be at not necessarily parties, but I'll be like at work when I worked at Valencia. Mm-hmm. And I worked with a lot of students where I would talk to them about the classes and registration process of the class that they need to get into and all of that. And they wouldn't know what they want to do. And I would tell them about the stuff that I would do, and it would rub off on them because mm-hmm. they liked the motivation and drive that I was providing. And they'd be like, all right, I'm switching majors right now. I'm going into filmmaking. And I'm like, yeah, like, bro, join. And I get their contacts. And there's a lot of people who I meet or have met that were scared to do filmmaking. Mm-hmm. They wanted to be an actor, but they felt like they didn't have the what's the word? They were just scared. They were scared of failing. I was like, you're not gonna know if you're gonna fail or not if you don't try.
Exactly.
And especially with acting, if you fail, like, it's all part of, you know, the process. It's like what you said. You know, we look at our works that we've done in the past, and it helps us grow. Like, you cannot succeed unless you fail. Mm-hmm. And it's getting deep.
You're getting deep like that.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah. You feel it?
Yeah. You're not gonna know, you know. And so, I think that also kind of contributes to not giving a shit, because, you know, you're not going to grow if you're always complacent and comfortable with where you're at in life, especially if it's relating to your content, because you're not going to know the things that are wrong or what to do that's right if you don't do those wrong things.
No, I agree. Yeah. I think I
blabbered on.
No, you didn't blabber on. I don't know which part I want to attack. Going back to the whole, I think there is this idea of people are deep down afraid to try shit. They're like when one of my friends hits me up and says, bro, I want to start a podcast. Bro, I want to start a YouTube channel. Just the most random shit from some people you wouldn't expect. It makes me so fucking happy, because I'm like, okay, this person is like finally... I don't want to say some people feel like they're sleeping, but it feels like some people wake up to like, I'm finally going to try to do this one thing. And that's the most gratifying feeling to me, is when it's almost like a compliment to me, because they come to me and be like, how do you do it? because I'm not a successful person at all at this point in my life. I will fucking be by the time I die, I'll tell you that. As long as I don't die tomorrow, hopefully. But I do think you need some sort of, we said drive before, but you also need to just be okay with failing, because that's the only way you're going to fucking learn. If I didn't make the shitty Purgatory short film, I would not be where I am today and not knowing what I'm doing. I have no fucking idea where to go off of that.
Yeah. Well, that was my fault. I went really deep.
I know that we went to it, man. So I guess bringing it back around, what keeps you driven right now? Like, is it your future? Is it I'm gonna die? Because I think about dying all the fucking time. That's what drives me. But,
really?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Interesting.
I see myself on my deathbed once a day, at least.
Whoa. Whoa.
I've said this before on other podcasts, but I see myself, bro, on a deathbed. This is getting real fucking deep.
Oh, yeah.
On a deathbed, I'm like laying down. I see like my grandkids on my right. There's like a granddaughter. She's like probably 8. She's like, look at me. She's crying. I see like my kids looking at me. Whoever else is in my life, whether they died or not, they're there. And then I close my eyes and I think, if I didn't accomplish all the shit I want to accomplish by that point, I fucking lost. And there's no way I get to that place unless I just try and do shit like this. Like, the podcast is like a hobby for me. But I was also thinking, I just want a chill fucking podcast to do.
So what? So your motivation is basically like trying, like leaving an imprint, like a legacy behind before you go.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's the deepest root of it, just because, I don't know, I feel like an obligation to myself at this point of, I mean, I think most people that know me personally know I'm very fucking ambitious. There's just a...
Sure. I'm gonna stop you right there. If you aren't about the most ambitious, most driven, and motivational person I have ever met, like I swear,
that's
dude.
Don't stroke my ego like that, DJ.
Well, no, man. Honestly, like dead ass. Like, bro, you have this aura, and it's fucking fantastic. I mean, look at us now. She got the
I hope it comes across on camera on a podcast. But
yeah, true.
Well, here's also my thing, right?
Take some of it. Take the aura. Yes, sir.
Well,
do something.
This is something I'm trying to figure out right now, just straight up. Is I feel like when I get people one-on-one, just like, for example, with whether it be with you, whether it be with kids in my fraternity that was at a party. I feel like I'm better at motivating people one-on-one as opposed to on a broad scale. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I hate sounding generic and vague when I'm like, yeah, just go do shit. Because I feel like I'm better to talk to in person about that kind of shit. And kind of, I love sitting down and having DJ time, you know what I mean? Talking 15 minutes about like, hey, man. I mean, this is me talking to DJ, but like when we're off camera, like, hey, man, what's good? Like, what are you up to? And I just feel like, when you rub that kind of confidence off on other people, they rub it right back on you. It's just like, it keeps you like your sword sharpened. You know what I mean? That's the only way to do it. Yeah. So I guess leaving a legacy is my biggest goal. Is just, I want the biggest fucking funeral of all time, man. Like that's my ultimate goal. You know, because think about it. Your funeral, bro. People gotta like take time out of their day to go to that shit. You had to have an imprint on their life to show up at your funeral. Right? With all that's just the way I think, man. Like, I just want impact, I guess. And I don't want to be famous necessarily, but I do want to have people come up to me every once in a while and be like, bro, like, you really helped me out. Thank you. I like that kind of shit.
Would you rather the people that show up mourn the loss of your death because of the legacy that you left behind, or celebrate the life that you lived?
I mean, I'd hope celebrate. You know, I want a good playlist at my funeral for sure.
Okay, I keep this in mind.
If "Shoot Up" by Playboi Carti doesn't play at my funeral, I'm gonna be a little bit let down.
You want them pumped at your funeral?
Absolutely. I want people to celebrate my life. You said you want people to celebrate my life, bro. I want people to celebrate my life for sure. So I guess going back to you then, like, because my thing is dying. Like, I think about dying all the time. What motivates you to always improve yourself? And because I think a lot of people also get disheartened on their journey because they're like, okay, I'm not seeing progress yet. I'm just going to quit. So what keeps you motivated to keep going, slowly see progress, keep getting better?
I think that goes back to when I did the names bill, and I got that huge mass satisfaction out of the crowd enjoying what I wrote, I think it comes from the satisfaction of others seeing what I make and me always trying, to outdo myself to make something better than my last project.
Gotcha.
Your motivation is way more conclusive. Mine
is it is death. Yeah.
Yours is very ending like. Mine's is very which it's a slippery slope. I've talked about it with people. It's a slippery slope because my motivation is like the satisfaction of other people. So what if I never satisfy people?
Right.
So then it kind of just becomes a thing of me trying to just outdo myself. So I think my motivation at heart is me just trying to make the best thing possible, and then my next project outdoing myself on that one and continuing, which is also a motivation that is very similar to Quentin Tarantino. He practices that same thing. He on his last film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Loved it. Big fan.
Yes. It was he was talking about that, how because he's coming to an end very soon about his movies, and they were like, why are you gonna stop? This and that. And he was saying that he always just tries to outdo himself, and that's why he actually doesn't make too many movies.
Yeah.
It's very seasonal when it comes to him. And I actually would say the same thing. You were talking earlier about, you've made so many projects and ideas, and you perceive them like they're just shitty. And I necessarily wouldn't fall into that category, because when I find something that's shitty, I just kind of scrap it. So I don't have too many experiences where something was super, super shitty because it never got published. No one's ever seen it.
Well, that's another topic. I've had a ton of ideas that I scrapped because they were too shitty. Yeah. I'm saying I've made shit at the time I thought this is fine enough, and then looking back, I'm like, oh, this is shit.
Well, no, I don't ever push out anything that I think I think that's a good practice too. That's something that maybe I should learn from, because it goes back to what we were saying earlier, where you won't learn unless you've failed. And in my instance, if I see that it's gonna fail, I just don't push it out.
Gotcha.
So I have very little projects where it'll be cringy and shitty to me, but all the projects I've pushed out has, at least to a certain degree, been somewhat good to other people and has been perceived well.
Right.
So, and that's literally what Tarantino does. That's why he only has that's his 8th, 9th.
He counts both Kill Bills as one movie, so he's technically, I think Hollywood was his 9th.
Oh my god, he has one more?
He says he has one more, and he says he's gonna make a Star Trek movie. I'm like, that's fucking whack.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Exactly. I'm definitely a Tarantino fan. I'm not a diehard Tarantino fan. I think sometimes he does get a little overpraised, but at the same time, no one makes a Tarantino movie like Tarantino, so I will always appreciate his stuff. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Inglourious Basterds are two of my all-time favorites.
Inglourious Basterds, man.
I could have a whole ass podcast episode on Inglourious Basterds for sure.
I love it.
He says at the end, it's his masterpiece. I think that's for a reason. If you haven't seen Inglourious Basterds,
watch it.
Yeah, there's if you're not sold on Quentin Tarantino as being a great director, that everyone says Pulp Fiction's his best. Pulp Fiction's great, obviously, but nowhere near Inglourious Basterds in my opinion.
Yeah, that does. Yeah, for me, mine too is Django and Inglourious Basterds.
Django's sweet too. Yeah, Django's awesome. There's no other way to put it.
They're so good. I would easily put those in top 10. Inglourious Basterds, I think it's 70-80% reading, actually.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of subtitles.
It's a lot of so if you don't like reading movies,
you're lame. Yeah, grow the fuck up.
I was gonna say don't watch it, but what he said.
Does it bother you when people won't watch foreign movies?
No.
Okay.
It doesn't. I understand. I wish that they would give it the time of day. But I can understand. There's times when I'll talk to people and they're like, I
have to read.
Yeah. I have to read.
Like a bum?
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, oh, I have to read. I'm like, yeah, you gotta fucking read. What do you mean? But it's, I kind of get it, because they have to read it and they have to look up. It's just something that I've always done. I give that to watching anime. So watching foreign films is no different.
I wish I could talk to you about anime, but I'm lost on the subject.
So many great concepts in anime.
I'm sure there is, because it seems just fucking crazy, and I'm like, you know what? I can't get that into my life right now. I'm good on that.
Yeah,
but I see where you're coming from. Where some people I understand the point of view from someone that doesn't watch too many movies anyway. Like, I don't feel like reading.
Yeah.
You're still a bum, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're pretty much a bum, to be honest.
But I think people associate foreign and reading with boring. And there's so many movies that are the complete opposite of that. Like fucking Parasite won Best Picture last year. Parasite's a great fucking thriller. Yeah.
Worthy of the Best Picture award it got.
Absolutely.
For the longest time, I put it to the side.
Really?
I literally I watched it in September.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched it. So I'm a fairly...
Just past September, not last September. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a fairly recent candidate of the movie. And for the longest time, I pushed it off to the side. I was like, I'm not going to watch it. Not because you have to read it.
Yeah.
But because... Well, for one, it was a foreign film, which I watch a lot of foreign films. But I don't know. I just kept pushing it off. I think it's just because I got that Best Picture award. You would think that would motivate you to like, okay, I got to see it.
Yeah.
But I was just like, it got Best Picture, so I just kept watching other movies. And then one day I was like, all right, I'll watch it. Yo!
Yeah. It's the best way to put it.
As soon as I finished watching it, I was like, Ma, you gotta watch this movie.
Watch this movie.
She was like, I was like, nope, you gotta sit down. You gotta watch this movie right now. Mm-hmm. She loved it. I've shown it to, whenever there's a good movie I've seen, I spread the word.
Yeah.
Like, yo, if you give it its money, give it the praise that it needs, watch it. And that one, I blew so much wind up its ass.
I believe it. I mean, Parasite is the movie where if your friend's like, I don't want to watch a foreign movie, bro, you throw Parasite on for them. You know what I mean? Like, it's the most entertaining, easy to watch movie that just happens to be in Korean. You know what I mean? Like, it just happens to be that way, which is awesome. I mean, even on Halloween, we had a Halloween party coming up, but before that, DJ came over. We're like, all right, we're going to watch a foreign Spanish movie called Rec.
Correct.
Yo,
yes.
Watch Rec.
Yeah.
I mean, they made an English remake called Quarantine, which I haven't seen. I know DJ saw.
Mm-hmm.
But we were all sitting here, and even like my roommate Adam, not to call Adam out, he was on the podcast, but he was like, I don't really want to watch this movie because I don't want to read subtitles. And then here's Adam sitting on our fucking couch watching Rec. He's like, holy shit, this is crazy. And I had never seen it either. So I'm also like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome. So
I think there's also something to like us like not understanding like, you know, what they're saying. Like we're reading it.
It makes it so much scarier.
Yeah, it does. Like because we're not, you know, the emotion is way different like how it's delivered when it's from English or another language. Mm-hmm. So, dude, I totally recommend foreign films. I was actually researching a lot of foreign films that I need to watch like just last night. No particular reason. I was just like, let me look up foreign films and add them to Letterboxd.
Which the best app of all time.
This man got me hooked on.
Yes, sir.
So if you don't have a Letterboxd and you're a filmmaker or you like films, get Letterboxd. And I've talked about this before with other people that dude, foreign films are fucking amazing. Like it stems from their culture because we're a culture of like for example our comedy is very slapstick, whereas like in Europe and in Britain and the English people, like there's comedies like more intellectual, and then our horror is very jump scare, but then you have J horror, which is the Japanese horror, and it's very what's the word, not demonic, like souls and
spiritual
spirits, but it's like
we could go with demonic.
Yeah, let's go with demonic. Yeah. But like a good example is The Grudge. Like The Grudge.
Which I still haven't seen, surprisingly.
You haven't seen The Grudge?
I'm telling you, I'll have the most random ass movies that I probably should have seen that I should have seen by now. The Grudge is one of those movies.
You seen The Ring?
The Ring is another one of those movies that I also haven't seen yet.
So there's a lot of this was part of my research I was doing last night. There's a lot of movies that we like steal. Mm-hmm. And The Grudge, The Grudge is an American remake, which is from Japanese. It's called Ju-on.
Yeah.
I was watching that shit. Shit is like 10 times scarier than The Grudge.
Yeah.
And The Grudge is already like a solidified horror movie. Like if it's Halloween, gotta watch The Grudge, which apparently you have not seen.
Which I have not seen. Too busy watching Rec.
Yeah, Rec is, what was that? Venezuelan or?
Was it Colombian?
Venezuelan, Colombian, Portuguese.
I'm not sure.
I think it was Portuguese.
Was it Portuguese?
So it was Brazil? I think it was Brazil.
Was it Brazil? I'm not sure. It was I thought it was Spanish.
Yeah, it was Spanish. Those are all forms of Spanish.
Well, no, isn't Portuguese part of Brazil, though?
Yeah.
Because there's no Brazilian.
No. No, yeah, it's Portuguese. stems
Hey,
from.
we'll just say South America.
This is not a geography podcast.
Yeah, I am not smart.
Yeah. I probably fucked up. Everyone's like, yo, he's stupid.
Yeah, I'm uncultured as shit for sure.
But definitely, watch a foreign film. I don't even know how we got on this topic. Parasite.
Parasite. It's great. Yeah,
read. Just read.
Just read. Yeah.
There's so many good.
Do you read?
Do I read like those the like? What do you mean, books?
Anything? Yeah, books. How's your Shakespeare game, man?
Oh my god. I actually don't. There's only been one book that I've read.
Ever? Like Magic Treehouse? What the fuck did you read? Like Captain Underpants? Like what was the book you read?
No, it wasn't Captain. Like
the Bible.
If you read the whole Bible,
yeah.
Yo, yeah, man. No, Captain Underpants. None of those. Oh no, the movie, the book that I read is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
That's it. Nothing else.
Nothing else.
I didn't really like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
No, the movie or the book?
Both. I had to read that.
Damn.
Well, this is also a point in my life where it was like I had to read it freshman year for like honors literature, and I was just notes and shits all day. So there were a lot of books I read that I didn't read that I would maybe like now because I don't really like fiction books.
Okay.
And I think people think if you're an artist in any sort of fashion that you like every form of art. Like when it comes to music, I appreciate music, but I couldn't have a music podcast. I couldn't talk like I know music. Same thing with like experimental art or like galleries. Could not do it. Architecture, don't know shit. And people think all the time, you read Shakespeare all the time or Dickens. And I don't.
No.
But I do like reading books about... Say, for example, I'm reading right now Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover. I like self-improvement books of like, how do I get out of debt and become rich? I like reading shit like that, personally. I don't know if you feel the same way. You just read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I don't like reading because it's very hard for me to focus on what I'm reading.
I used to be that way, but I play music in the background.
You play music in the background while you read?
Yeah.
That'd be worse for me. That's 10 times
I
worse.
zone the fuck in, bro.
I think as I'm reading, I'll just start moving my shoulders. Like, I'll just start listening to the music.
Hey, you just say, I'm just going to read this one chapter. If it's like 12 pages, you just bang out 12 pages.
I think it's just my thought process because, like, when I'm reading a book, I can, obviously, as anyone else, can imagine the scene, but I imagine it way too much in detail.
Oh, like, you stop and you're like,
yeah,
how's it playing out?
I'm like, and I'm like, well, this happened with this. Like, I think about it way too hard.
Okay.
And I find myself just not being able to just focus on it. Like, I don't know why. And then I zone out, and so I just don't read. Mm-hmm. I honestly don't read. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the only reason why I read it is because I like the movie. Mind you, the movie's shitty.
I mean, I don't like the movie.
Yeah, the movie's horrible. The movie's really bad, but it's like it's a guilty pleasure movie.
Hey, everyone can have a guilty pleasure,
Yeah, it's like again, I loved astronomy, so the fact that
that's true. Damn, you bring it full circle.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
why.
Damn.
That's why I like it.
Okay.
I loved astronomy, and so I remember watching this movie. It was in my science class in middle school, and the teacher played it, and I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, like. Spoiler, it's a shitty movie, but it came out like 2005, whatever. Beginning of the movie, did the fucking Earth blow up? Like,
does it? I don't remember shit about.
No. That's what went through my mind. The Earth blows up.
Oh.
Like 10 minutes into the movie.
Does it? I forget.
Yeah. Arthur is saved by his alien friend, and it's getting invaded because, like, the joke is his house is getting demolished because they're building a highway. And so on a galactic level, aliens are coming to Earth.
I really don't remember the spark notes of this. I remember 42. That's what I remember.
42.
Isn't that what they say?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
That's the only thing I remember.
Yeah, no. The aliens come, like, they're demolishing this house for a highway. And then aliens come because they're making an intergalactic highway. And so his friend, who was an alien, is like, yeah, like, you saved my life when I came here because I thought cars were the species. So because you saved my life, I'm going to save yours. We're leaving Earth. Gets abducted. They go into a ship. They hitchhike their way onto this ship. Earth fucking blows up. I was like, oh my God. Yo, did the Earth just fucking blow up?
And that's when you knew. Astronomy. Right there.
Yeah, and I like the way that, like, I forget his name, Douglas. I think it's Adam Douglas.
Douglas Adams? Maybe. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I don't.
Yeah, I forget his name.
Like I said, I'm not smart. I don't know books like that.
Yo, you smart, bro. You smart.
No, I'm dumb as shit. Driven. Yeah, that's I'm smart in certain things. I'm dumb as shit overall, though. I would say I'm a smart dumb person, or I'm a dumb smart person. I don't know which one.
I think I lost brain cells just now with what you just said. Cool. What the fuck just happened?
I think I should change the topic because there we go. Because I won't know anything about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So
yeah,
I want to ask you because obviously we both want to make movies. That's the dream goal, unless I mistook for something else.
No, I want to make a movie.
Yeah, do you want to write and direct, or do you just want to write?
I was originally wanting to just direct. It's looking like more. So I wanted to direct and act in the things that I direct,
which is awesome.
Yeah, quickly found out cannot do that.
Neither can I. Yeah.
I mean, I have the ability to do it. I can act, but it's very. What I have envisioned it doesn't come as close as if I were to just stay behind the camera. If I'm doing both, I end up finding out like, damn, I wish it would have been done like this, end up regretting it, etc., etc. So I just stay behind the camera. I would rather just direct it. So it was originally acting, directing. Then it was just, I'm just going to direct. Now it's writing and directing. I'm finding myself writing a lot more.
Okay,
so.
There you go. And then it's feature films is the goal. Like full-blown, 90 minutes. I would say see it in the theater, but by the time we're making movies, it's probably just going to be streaming anyway. So
yeah, it's moving. Yeah, unfortunately.
So, what keeps you? Because obviously, I think a lot of people, when I told them I want to make movies, I guess I'm shouting out my mom. She assumed like right out of college, oh, that's what I'm going to do. It's like, nah, you got to make your way up and do things. Like it takes time to get to that level.
Yeah,
and I think what a lot of people don't realize is, the key to making films at that level is either having a lot of money or just making your way up in the industry. My personal approach is I want to make bank doing like still video related stuff. Like when I go to do a real estate shoot or something, or like some sort of video gig, I'm learning some sort of filmmaking technique that'll help me in the future when I'm trying to make my movie. And I'm getting paid to still do something I enjoy, pay the bills, and also save up to make those feature films that I want to make my dream goal. So what keeps... this is kind of a question we had before, but what keeps you driven? Because it's such a long-term investment of your time.
Yeah.
That I don't even want to say a year from now, you're at that level, because I think we both realistically know we're years away from.
Yeah, we still have a lot to learn.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not even a lot to learn. It's just realistically speaking, you need a certain amount of funds to pull that off.
Yeah.
And there's no one clear path to success, but you just have to know in the back of your head, it's going to take time to get to that level, but you have to consistently put in work to reach that level. So what keeps you from stepping away and being like, fuck that investment of time, I'm going to go do something else?
Like, what keeps me like focused?
I guess, that's one other way to put the question, I guess, yeah.
What keeps me focused? I don't know. I like filming. I really don't see myself really doing anything else. I want to, anything I script, I just want to film it. But because of, back to what you said, like it takes time to get to that level of filmmaking. I always advertise, make do with what you got. But realistically, I have an envisionment for a script or a project or a movie, and I can't film it right there and then because I lack the resources or I lack the equipment and such. Which was actually this is kind of sidetrack. I was actually going to ask you a question.
Oh,
yeah,
go for it.
Welcome to DJ's podcast.
Yes, sir.
Got a question for you, bro.
Be sure to subscribe.
Yeah, so leave a like, comment down below. Do you have any projects or script that you probably can't film right now, but you have it on cold because you know that if you are to make it higher into the industry, you'll then have the equipment and basically because of your lack of resources and equipment, you've put it on cold? I have
the first 4 feature films I want to make lined up.
Okay. Like to film now or to film when
I have money.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So, I don't know if I have this weird thing where I don't like saying what my projects are, because then they usually don't end up happening for some reason. I would like to break that bullshit rumor in my head, but
yeah.
I set it up so the one I finished a feature-length screenplay. It's not the final draft of that screenplay, but I did finish it. DJ I let him read it. He read it in one sitting right here, which I really appreciate, by the way. If you need someone that is as loyal to reading and critiquing your script, there's no better choice than DJ right here. So thank you for that.
Of course.
I do have, obviously these plans always change, but I'm someone that wants to tackle multiple genres. Like you said, you prefer comedy, and I don't know if that's strictly what you're going to want to stick to throughout your life. Obviously, we don't know what we're going to want to do like 10 fucking years from now, 1 year from now, 1 day from now. But I'm someone, I want to try a little bit of everything. So my first film is completely different from my second film, which is completely different from my third film, and it's really fucking different than my fourth film.
Okay.
And I know these are 4 movies I've said forever that I want to make. I know the one I sent you would probably be the one I would make first because it would require the least amount of money to make, which is why I wanted to do that one first, because it's enough where, so for people that are curious about how do you get to the point of being a Nolan or a Spielberg or a Tarantino, you have to make one really cheap budgeted movie that's good enough that shows producers, oh, this person has ideas, let's give them a little bit more money than the previous movie. To sum it up in the most basic ass way you can. So my mindset is I have these 4 movies that I know for a damn fact I want to make. So I rank them in order of how much money each one would cost. Like the 4th one, for example, is a period piece. It takes place early 1900s. It's just something I feel obligated to make. It has something to do with my heritage, and it hasn't really been represented properly in the media.
Okay.
So it's something I know for a fact, if I'm around and I have the money, I feel almost obligated to my ancestors to make this fucking movie.
Okay.
But it would cost the most money of the 4. So I put that in the 4th spot. And then I make my way up. And the one I sent you, I realized, okay, out of all the films on the list, this one would probably cost the least amount of money to make, which is why I want to make this one first. What year that's made, I have no fucking idea, because I made like this weird tree in my journal the other day, right?
Okay.
Where I broke it down. This sounds lame as hell, but do it. I put phase 1 of my life, right?
Okay.
At the end of phase 1, or at the top, I put phase 2. I don't know what phase 2 is yet.
Okay.
Under that, I put direct feature films. How do I direct feature films? Under that, I put noticeable feature. I'll have to show this shit to you after.
Yeah.
And from that, there's 2 ways you could get money to make a noticeable feature film. You make a bang short film, which could always happen.
Right.
Or you self-fund it. So I go to the self-fund part. How do I self-fund? Okay, I could get a job I really fucking hate. I could make money doing other things.
Do you see this motivational driven shit?
It's not motivation. It's just planning.
Do you see this planning type shit?
And then there's, I can make a production company where I do real estate videos, I do commercials, I make travel videos, and that's how I get up to this.
What the fuck?
Well, it's just, it keeps me
It's
organized.
just no.
No, yes, sir.
Yo, do you see this shit?
It keeps me organized, all right? So to answer your question, I guess that's the answer to your question. I forget the question at this point. What was your question?
I don't know, but I was very glad to hear that.
Okay. I'll have to show you my tree, man.
Did you make a tree? Did you make a tree?
Oh, he's asking you now. Oh, shit.
Did you fucking make a tree?
But I think it all goes back to... We were talking about this idea before of you would scrap certain ideas because they're shitty. And I'm the same way. If I think something sounds cool and then I realize it's shitty, I kind of just put it to the side. But I do think there is a point where you have to be comfortable with making something that's good enough to put out there and learn from it. So I think what stopped me very early on in my process was I was so stuck up on trying to make everything as perfect as it could. So say from a scale of 0 to 100, I was focused on getting something to the 100 when realistically I could have gotten something to 80, learned from it, got it done much quicker, and had already been on the next thing.
Okay.
Getting that to an 85, getting the next thing after that to a 90, as opposed to using all that fucking time to get one thing to 100, if that makes any sort of sense to you.
Yeah, that does.
So do you think, where someone wants to make movies, music, whatever the fuck it is, start a podcast, do you think that's a good mentality, or what do you lie on that of getting shit done?
Everyone has their own path to getting to, where they want to be, or that success, or that drive. How you get there is like your path. I'm not going to disagree with how you get there. Like that, I think that's definitely a way to look at it. Like, if you need to get yourself up to 80% of what you could actually do and learn from it, so that way next time it's 100%, that's definitely one way. My method is going back, I think everyone's their own, not everyone, but I'm my own worst critic. I'm not even agreeing with my own motivational methods, but I practice it where it's like, if it's not 100, I'm not pushing it out.
Yeah.
And I am learning, like, even though it may not seem like I am learning when I do those things, I'm learning from it and learning, like, what's good and what's not. So that way next time I'm not scrapping it altogether. But yeah, everyone has their own path, you know? It's just learning what works best for you. And if it works out, then good. But it's always something that you always have to keep in mind, no matter how you're getting to where you need to get to. You always have to there's always room to grow. Mm-hmm. And I feel like people don't understand that. A lot of people, like, just when they put something out, when they do something and they fail, they're like, that's it. All right, I failed at it. I tried it. I gave it a shot. So many people I ran in, like, oh, I did acting, and, I didn't make the cut, or, I did acting, I didn't like it, so I stopped. And I'm like, why the fuck did you stop? Yeah. Like, next time, just don't do this. Mm-hmm. Just keep with it. It's not something, a skill's not going to be something you acquire overnight, Right. So, however you get there, I'm never going to judge. I'm always going to give you praise for just trying.
For just doing the shit.
For just doing and committing to it. It's all about commitment and persistency, and the craft will come later. Like, and the people will come after that.
I mean, yeah, you put it pretty well. I don't know how else I could say that.
I got a question for you.
Another question.
Yes.
You're really feeling the question
DJ
today.
Podcast, I'm telling you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Where do you grab... Oh, I got 2 questions.
You got 2 questions?
Yeah.
Damn, DJ.
So, okay.
For you.
Okay, so I'm going to try not to forget the second one. The key word is musical. But that's going to make me
remember musical.
Okay, bet. So the first question is, where do you have any inspirations or grab any inspirations from when you're scripting? Like, where do your script ideas come from?
Myself. Which is a dumb answer, but at the same time, hear me out, right?
Okay.
When I first started making the shitty short films, like Purgatory, right? I was kind of in the headspace of, I like Christopher Nolan movies. Let me try and make something Christopher Nolan-y. And then I would find other sources of inspiration, quotation marks, where I would take pieces of things other people made and try and make it my own thing. Mm. And I think I came to the realization where when I write my best stuff now, it comes from shit I've experienced. So, like, part of the script I sent to DJ takes place in a fast food restaurant. And I was playing Xbox right here. I was just like letting him do his thing. I didn't want to interrupt his reading. I'd hear DJ start cracking up. And I was like, oh, what part are you at? They're like, oh, it was this part. You know what I mean? I was like, awesome, because that actually fucking happened.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's exactly. Crazy. So I think I came to the realization of the reason people have success or make good movies is because they really do put themselves in it. And I mean, there's different ways you could go about it. I put literal things that happened to me and I saw in person in my script. And the reason it comes off so authentic is because it actually happened. Mm. So I think I've gotten the mind space of I don't really have inspirations anymore in terms of actual material. I'll get inspiration from like cinematography or like lighting and things like that where I'm like, I like that style. Mm. But in terms of story now, I feel like I'm only crafting things that I've either experienced or mean something to me and I could put my own spin on it. If that makes sense. Yeah. I don't know if you're the same way, but
the reason why I wanted to ask that is because I draw my inspirations from my dreams.
Dream? Like literally when you go to sleep at night, or like
dead ass
aspiration dreams?
No, like I'll have a dream and it's a movie.
That's fucking sweet.
It's fucking crazy.
I have similar dreams. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I saved Magic Kingdom from terrorists 3 different times.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And the one time they were dressed up as nuns. It was fucking nuts. Yeah.
Terrorists dressed up as nuns and you... Whoa,
and I died in the end. It goes back to dying. I die in my dreams all the time, bro.
Okay, whoa, man.
Yes, sir. So apparently it's a good thing. That's what psychologists say.
That if you die in your dream?
Apparently if you die in your dreams, it means you know you're about to have a new beginning.
Or you could die in real life.
Or that too. You never know. I'm good right now. Yeah. Hopefully. Continue your dreams. Yeah.
Yeah. No. This is something for the longest time, and I tell people, and they're like, "What the fuck?" It's crazy. I have movies like as dreams. They don't come from any inspiration of like like when you go to sleep and you'll be watching a movie and you go to sleep and you'll like dream some aspects of that movie.
Yeah.
I have full original concept dreams of these things that happen, and I wake up. And it took me a while to realize it. I'll literally have him like, I don't know, like 3 times like a month. Like
that's pretty consistent content right there.
Yeah, right? Like I have a good, I literally had one recently. When was it? Like a week or 2 ago. I don't know what starts it. I don't know why I have them, but I'm like, I'm not gonna complain. I'll wake up and I'll just write it down. But yeah, no, I wanted to ask you that because I draw from my dreams and a lot of my scripts. Like this kind of goes back to the question that I asked you, or I think you asked me about a feature film, like the project that you ultimately want to make. And one of mine is a dream that I had that I tell it to people, and it's fucking crazy. It's a zombie action drama, I guess you could say.
Drama. You threw the drama in there to make it more spicy.
I mean, it gets pretty dramatic. I didn't. It was my fucking brain.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not even kidding. Like 10 years elapsed in this fucking dream.
Okay.
And it's a full on movie. Like it's not a short film. It's a full feature film, and that's like the ultimate feature film goal. That like when I have money. And if I ever work with the studio, that's the movie that I'm going to make. So I just felt, I felt like I should ask you that because I was interested to know.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
When you make that movie, could I be a zombie?
You want to be a zombie?
I want to be a zombie, yeah.
You want to be a slow one or a fast one? They're both in there.
Depends where I'm at in my life in terms of cardio, but
okay.
If I could be one of the fast ones so you could barely tell it's me, that'd be fucking sweet.
You don't want to be seen?
I want to be like the guy that's running so fast that the people that pay attention was like, is that Chase Azarian? That successsul ass director?
Easter egg?
Yes, sir. Like, okay. I want it like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, I got you. If it ever gets made, when.
DJ.
Look at this man here. Every time I throw an if, he throws out a when.
Yeah, yes, sir. That's what it's about.
The second question.
Musical.
Okay, that's what. Okay, thank you. See, I knew I was going to forget. You said you had multiple different movies with very different genres.
Yeah.
What is the genre of movie that you feel like... Do you feel like there's a genre of movie that you would never direct or dislike, or you would do all of them?
I don't want to say never make, because maybe I come up with a concept in that genre that hasn't been done before that could still be good. Like,
okay.
For example, I don't really dislike any genre. I think if it's a great movie, it's a great movie regardless of drama.
Okay.
Romantic comedies are for a very specific audience. I think a lot of them are very shitty. I'm trying to think of a really good... Like, there's romantic movies that are great, like the Before trilogy. I would put Call Me By Your Name up there. Like, there's a lot of good romance movies. I think I could make a good romance movie at this point in my life.
Okay.
A rom-com, though... I would need a really, really banging idea to be like, yeah, I want to make a rom-com, I think. Musical, the problem... I think I could come up with I've had a great concept for a musical, I think.
Okay.
I don't think I could write good lyrics, though. I think I would have to collab with someone...
Okay.
Like I said, I'm not musically gifted, so if I could collaborate with someone and be like, hey, here's the script, here's the story, help me write songs, maybe I could do a musical.
Okay.
But as of right now... I would need that collaboration, I think, to pull it off. But do you fall in the same category of like I wouldn't want to do that, or I don't know if I would want to do that?
There's genres that I would be very not disheartened. That's so fucked up.
Unenthused?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't be looking forward to it, but I would give them all a shot. Musical. I wouldn't look forward to doing a musical.
You wouldn't look forward to it at all, so you would just say, fuck this.
I would choose anything over a musical, and I think what's really messed me up on that is High School Musical. I
did not expect that. You're really just bringing out High School Musical.
Yeah, I'm really just venting to you right now, man.
Okay, I mean, vent away, man. We're on like a therapy couch right now, so I guess it's fitting.
Yeah, man.
Tell me why High School Musical ruined your filmmaking career, man.
Just fucked me up, bro. Like, it would just play on repeat. Everyone in my middle school would sing it. And I can't look at musicals the same.
Okay, not to disgrace everyone our age, but you do know High School Musical is not good.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I've never seen it.
But it haunts you?
It haunts me because I would always hear the songs.
We're All in This Together really bothers you, man?
Oh, man. It's like trauma.
There's definitely better musicals out there, man.
Well, I seen La La Land.
Okay.
Love it. Think?
I thought it was okay the first time. I thought it was really good the first time. I loved it the second time, but yeah.
I had a whole discussion with someone at the last Halloween party. They hate it. It was one of Johnny's roommates, and
really?
she absolutely hates it. Absolutely hates it.
Like, you should give it a rewatch.
Yeah, me and
hey, you can have whatever opinion you want, but
yeah.
La La Land is pretty fucking bang.
Yeah, you can have whatever opinion you want, and if you don't think it's good, but she hates it. She thinks it's the worst film
of all time. And
I'm like, why? Why do you hate it so much?
Yeah, I want to know.
Yeah, she just like I don't like it. I just hate it. But La La Land, I gave that a watch. The Greatest Showman, I like that one. I'm snapping. I don't
Olivia's
know.
making me watch that soon, so I'll let you know my review.
It was good. It was pretty good. I like, with musicals, it's very oriented around the music, and the story's kind of like a plus. The story for Greatest Showman isn't the greatest.
Okay.
But the music is pretty bomb. That's it.
That's it? You haven't seen Singing in the Rain?
Oh, my fault.
Okay.
Singing in the Rain. Love it.
Okay. Singing in the Rain is great. Yeah.
Now I think that's it.
Okay. I've never felt more gay than watching Singing in the Rain and loving it. I don't know why. It made me think, damn, this movie's fucking great. I have no other way to put it. What? I'm serious. That's how I felt.
I've never felt more gay.
Yes, sir.
From singing, I actually love Singing in the Rain.
Singing in the Rain is fucking great. Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
Yes,
I liked it.
I was so happy watching it. I felt, because I feel like every guy is like, oh, fuck musicals. Musicals are lame. And there are a lot of lame musicals for sure. And musicals is definitely not my go-to genre by any means. It's one of the last. That being said, when there's a banging musical though, I'm like, yes, sir.
It's good, man. It puts you in like this I don't know, the aura given off it. It's just, you're just happy. Mm-hmm. Like, they're just so happy. You're just happy, and that's what I feel musicals do. They're really good at suspending your disbelief of like they're in this setting, but then they just break out into song. Mm-hmm. But going back, I just can't. I can't do it. High School Musical really. I would just hear the music over and over. And I would give, for the longest time, I have been lectured on, DJ, you need to watch Hamilton. Did you watch it?
Yeah, Olivia made me watch that one too.
Was it good?
It's good. Yeah, I like it. I think that came across more ingenuine than it is. It's good. I'm not really a Broadway guy. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's very Broadway.
Well, it is Broadway, yeah.
Oh, it is, right?
It's straight up. They just recorded the play. It's
okay.
It's not like a.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it would take for me.
I appreciated it.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't pay $300 to go see it live, but I did appreciate it.
Okay.
The fact that it was on Disney Plus and Olivia made me slutty brownies that I could enjoy while doing that. A-okay.
Okay. It's a good sit down and watch once type of thing. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are going to be upset.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe some people will be
There's
upset.
some really, like, diehard... You haven't seen... I know someone who's watched it 8 times.
8 times?
Yeah, it's... I don't know. I'll give it a watch.
Olivia's watched it probably like 37, so 8 doesn't even impress.
I'm sorry, what? That's an exaggerated number.
I don't think it is. Yeah, I think it's pretty fucking close.
37? So 30 times? I'm going to dock it 7 times. 30?
Okay, once a day for a month probably. The way she talks about it.
No way!
All right, ask her next time she's here.
Yeah, I need that. How many times you see Hamilton?
All right, yeah, we'll figure that out for sure.
Another genre. Oh my goodness, what is it called? Claymation. Can't do it.
Well, yeah, if we're talking animated, I won't fuck around. I'll write an animated movie, and I'll be like, yo, you guys do all the work, because I don't know how to animate anything.
Well, no, it's not even like
animation.
Making. I'm talking watching.
Oh, watching.
I can't do claymation.
I'm trying to think if there's a claymation movie that I like. If you don't know, claymation's like
Coraline, James
like
and the Giant Peach, Corpse Bride,
Nightmare Before Christmas, kind of.
Haven't seen it.
Really?
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah.
I don't have anything great. I would say it's really good.
Chicken Run, Wallace and Gromit.
Chicken Run's a throwback, man.
Yeah.
Now you're talking.
It was VHS, bro.
Yes, sir.
The reason why I know of all these is because I had them all on VHS, but I just didn't enjoy them. Mm-hmm. I couldn't, and I know a lot of people were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
I just can't. I don't
it's
know
not
why.
my favorite either necessarily. To me, it's like you're putting in so much extra work for no fucking reason, but that's a different conversation.
I appreciate the art. I appreciate the time that goes into it. Like, there's a new one that came out that everyone loved.
Anomalisa?
Kubo?
Kubo, I think. I saw that in theaters.
Yeah?
I didn't like it, yeah.
Damn.
Everyone loved it. I was like, oh, okay. Like, because I like seeing shit like that because it's like, I know you put so much effort. Let me give you a chance.
I can't.
You shouldn't, yeah. I was just like, you wasted all this time.
I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I props and credit credit is due. If you make it good, it's just not for me. I just can't do it.
It's not my thing
either.
either.
I know a lot of people harp on me so much about, what's it called? Nightmare
Before Christmas?
I keep getting it mixed up.
You can't even get the name right.
I keep thinking Before Elm Street. Nightmare.
That's a completely different fucking movie. Yeah,
or Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm sorry.
That's some horror shit. Have you seen that?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, good. I was hoping so.
Yeah, just like you, because you said that there's a lot of movies that you haven't seen.
Yeah.
I think it's really funny that us as filmmakers, as directors who watch a lot of movies,
there's some that just slip.
There's some that slip, and they're the most, like,
what the fuck? You haven't seen that movie? Yeah.
Like, there's which I know about. I haven't seen Star Wars 4.
Which still blows my fucking mind, yeah. This man, first of all, I gave him, this isn't mine, this is
and I'm repping the Yoda mug.
That's my roommate's.
Damn.
Just fitting you're drinking out of that shit. Jesus.
I watched 1, 2, and 3. Was told
the prequels, mind you, not the original movies, which the people even admit are shitty.
I was told to watch that first.
Who the fuck told you that?
It was a friend of mine. They were like, "Yo, you have."
Are they actually your friend?
They're diehard Star Wars fans.
Are they actually your friend though?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
They have like they're diehard, like the figures, all that, and they were like, "You have to watch it from the beginning. You have to watch it 1, 2, and 3."
I ain't on that level, but Star Wars is pretty fucking great.
I was told later
not
on
the new ones, but
not the new ones.
Me and Jake and Adam sat in here last night and talked about how shitty the Disney Star Wars movies are.
Wow.
And I was talking to Jake because I want Jake on the podcast. I was like, bro, we were going to talk about how we share a room. Why don't we just fucking talk about how shitty Disney Star Wars movies are?
Damn, is it that bad? I was told that they were pretty...
I despise them. I despise what Disney did to the Star Wars movies.
So the only good ones from what you're telling me, basically, is 4, 5, and 6.
And 3. I think 3 is incredibly underrated.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, The Mandalorian, bro, is very okay right now.
Damn, really?
I think it's very overhyped, but it has potential of being great. There's gonna be a whole other Star Wars episode, I guess. So, because I really have to fucking pee to get to the wrap of this episode, I guess. DJ, you're a guy. You know what you want to do. There's a lot of people that don't know what they want to do, or they're considering trying out something, and they're not sure if they want to take that leap. What piece of advice would you say to someone that just wants to try a new career or a new hobby, whatever is a hobby that could turn into a career or a side hustle? What would you tell them to do?
Try it. Like, it's that simple. I know it's like, you have responsibilities, you got, I don't know, bills to pay, you got to do a whole bunch of shit, and maybe that time and investment isn't really lining up. Just try it. Like, it's really that simple, at least to me. I really feel like it's universally simple, but, if maybe the circumstances don't let you try it, I don't know. I think you should just give it a shot. And even if you fail at it, I think the heart of you knowing whether or not if it's going to be something that you should stick to is if you enjoyed it when you did try it. And don't be disheartened if you fail or harp yourself on, well, I liked it when I was doing it, but I didn't succeed. Mm-hmm. Don't harp on that. If you liked it, that's just how I was raised.
Yeah.
Never be stuck doing something that you don't enjoy or that you don't like. Always stick to what you do like and stick to it. So just keep at it, and over time, like, it'll stick, or it should stick rather. And if it's not sticking and you find yourself not liking it, try something else. Life is too short, for you to be like not being experimental with what you want to do for the rest of your life. At least for me. So just do something new. Wake up, do something new. I don't know
That was
what
the
else.
best
Really,
speech I've ever heard.
I got really uncertain towards the ending. I was like, wait,
No, I liked how you approached it for sure. It,
okay,
almost gave a tear to my eye. I'm
yeah,
not sure.
yeah. Damn, give me my Oscar.
Absolutely. One day. When? Not if.
Red
when.
carpet? Look,
Hey,
not
we're gonna be looking fly as shit on that red carpet one
Oh,
day.
bro, with the tie and the.
You already usually suited up. To let you know, DJ's usually suited up for things.
Yeah.
But he knew it was Hanging With Azarian, so you knew he had to wear the black t-shirt.
I went relax on this one.
Yes,
I was
sir.
going to dress up. I thought about it. I was like,
Yes,
nah.
sir. Got the nice red pants though, like the maroon pants. I like that.
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be chilling with Chase. I'm like, no disrespect. I think I should dress up for you, bro. But I was like, we chilling. We're vibing. We're hanging with Azarian.
Yes, sir.
So I was like, let me go relax.
Well, I'm grateful you came on my was below average podcast. I think this episode with the production setup I got, we're moving closer to average. I think. Yeah. So
got room to grow.
Absolutely. Maybe it'll be good by 2023. We'll see.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I would fucking hope so. Yeah. Yeah. But DJ, where do you want people to find you? Like, do you have any social media you want to plug?
You can, I guess, primarily my Snapchat. I'm always on my Snapchat.
I'm gonna have to ask you to pause for a second because people plug their Snapchat and they think they're just getting normal snaps. This man has. I'm gonna gas him up. I know he doesn't want me to gas him up. This man has brought Snapchat stories to a different fucking breed of level that I've never seen. Your ass is basically vlogging on there. You're editing it like it's in Premiere and posting on Snapchat. It's the coolest fucking Snapchat of all time. So yes, what is your Snapchat?
It is dcrazy -1. If you want to add,
I'll link it below.
Yeah, I'm on there. I'm dead ass probably like every day. So Snapchat would be my primary. Secondary is Instagram, which is D_crazed1, and then my Facebook, which is my full name, D'Angelo Rucker. There's a apostrophe. He'll link it.
A little apostrophe.
Yeah, there's
that apostrophe.
Yeah, it's an apostrophe. It's a little spice, to the name D'Angelo. So
yes, sir. I mean, if you're watching this episode as it drops, you probably already know me. You probably follow me on everything. But the one thing we'll plug, I do have another YouTube channel called. What do you say? What does it even say? Letterboxd.
Oh
okay.
Yes, sir.
Letterboxd.
What is my Letterboxd?
Jake, we just mentioned you, man. We talked about how shitty Star Wars is and how DJ's never seen it.
The new ones suck.
The new ones do suck.
Damn, okay.
Me and Jake will talk about that soon. Yeah. But
sneak peek right here.
Yeah, plug your Letterboxd.
I believe he'll link it, but I believe it's the same as my Instagram, D_crazed.
Okay, sounds good. Follow me on Letterboxd too, I guess.
Yeah.
But also, Chilling with Chase is a YouTube channel. I'm going to be rebooting very soon because I've got an increase in subscribers with that weight loss video. So I'm like, damn, I might as well capitalize on these new people that know me.
Yes, sir, of course.
So that will be rebooted. DJ, I don't have an outro. I think my outro is now going to be just asking the guest what my outro should be and see what I get. So what should my outro be?
Ooh, hold on. What should your outro be? You could go catchphrase.
What catchphrase?
Damn. Definitely, I love this shit of you saying it's not about if, it's about when. So I don't know, something motivational. I don't know.
I like that.
It's not a. So see you next time. See you next time. But it's not about if you come back. It's when you. Nah, that's too cocky.
Is it?
Is it? And it's confident. I think it's confident. It's not about if we come back. It's about when we come back. I don't know. I'm the wrong person to ask about this.
That's where I'm going to cut it right there. Yes, sir.